The house, triggers those memories of that awful day.
A 77-year-old woman now afraid to leave her Montbello home after a SWAT team raided her house.
Many of them were carrying what must have been automatic rifles. They had a handgun strapped to their legs.
Officers found nothing in her home, and now she's filing a lawsuit against Denver Police.
An approaching storm bringing high winds and snow for Colorado as we head through the next 24 hours. I'll let you know what that means in your neighborhood coming up.
Items flying off warehouse shelves.
What we're seeing is actually an explosion in volumes.
A local business owner shows why his online sales are booming for the holiday season.
They like the convenience of online shopping, right? And they like a good deal.
All right, first tonight, it is about to get windy. You know what? I think it is windy. This is a live look over our beautiful city. So in Denver, we could see gusts of 50 miles per hour tonight through tomorrow afternoon. Boulder's looking at maybe 60 miles per hour.
And right now, CDOT is starting to stage crews along I-25 between Colorado Springs and Denver. That's in case there needs to be any safety closures or to help with possibly blown over vehicles. And along with these strong winds, the mountains could get up to 10 inches of snow tonight. And meteorologist Stacey Donaldson joins us tonight on this Weather Action Day to kick off our newscast.
So Stacey, we have winter storm warning,
yes,
and we also have high wind warnings.
High wind warnings all across the eastern plains, and so we're really going to be watching for these high winds to kick in tonight. They already are starting to pick up, but this is going to be with more intensity for tomorrow with the high wind warning in effect for the day. Off to the west, we have 59-mile-an-hour gusts at Berthoud Pass right now, 25 for Broomfield, and the winds are picking up across the eastern plains. As for this cold front, it's not quite into our state yet, but when it does move in, we'll have snow through western Colorado. We'll have very windy conditions for the eastern plains and into the central plains as it continues to make its way across the country. So in the next 24 hours, some big changes headed our direction. Winter storm warning for our northern and central mountains. This is where we could see up to a foot of snow. Winter weather advisories off to our southwest and northwest, and most of the eastern plains under a high wind warning. Denver is not under that warning, but winds still expected to be around 40 to 50 miles an hour for tomorrow. 60-mile-an-hour gusts across the plains from Castle Rock all the way up toward Boulder, and then up to a foot of snow off to our west into our northern and central mountains. So as we go through tonight, the winds will pick up. After we get past midnight, some of these warnings kick in. We'll have temperatures in the upper 30s. Then it's colder air, that snow, the wind, it all moves in. I'll let you know how quickly it'll move out though, and whether it will affect your weekend coming up.
Thank you, Stacey. Now, earlier this year, a 77-year-old woman's home was searched and damaged by Denver police officers for a crime she wasn't even involved in.
So now she's suing the detective who sought the warrant that her lawyers call unjustified. Denver 7's Patrick Perez is in the newsroom tonight.
And Patrick, police are now apologizing for what happened.
They are, Ann, and this lawsuit comes just a few years after Governor Polis signed into law a bill that allows police officers to get sued. It's why this woman's lawyers are coming after the detective, not the police department. It was just before 2 o'clock on the 4th of January. A Denver police SWAT team is preparing to swarm the Montbello home of 77-year-old Ruby Johnson.
They were dressed with body armor, they had a handgun strapped to their legs, and many of them were carrying what must have been automatic rifles.
Nobody else in the house now? No, nobody else in the house.
These heavily armed officers were there because a detective believed Johnson's home may have contained items stolen in a recent car theft, including an iPhone. In this copy of the search warrant ACLU Colorado provided to Denver 7, Detective Gary Staab explains a ping from the victim's stolen iPhone showed at one point it was at Johnson's address. The victim got that ping using the Find My app.
What the screenshot showed was that the location of the phone could not be precisely pinpointed.
Still, a judge signed off on the warrant, and a little more than an hour later, SWAT officers were directing Johnson over a loudspeaker to exit her home.
You come to the door with your hands up.
The overwhelming show of force, the intimidating presence, and just the violation of having all of these police officers go through her house just left her feeling horrible.
During a search of Johnson's home, the officers did not find any stolen items. They also damaged parts of her home, which the ACLU says DPD has not paid to repair.
She suffered a lot of distress at this totally unexpected and unjustified scene.
Now, almost 11 months later, ACLU Colorado has filed a lawsuit against Detective Staab on behalf of Johnson. They're seeking compensation through a jury trial. Her legal team claims because of Staab's unjustified search warrant, Johnson's rights were violated.
The detective did not have enough facts to seek a search warrant, and he didn't do a proper investigation.
You're suing the detective, but I'm sure people would question, why not the judge who signed off on that warrant?
The judge has judicial immunity.
In a statement Thursday afternoon, a police spokesperson says, in part, the Department of Public Safety and Denver Police Department sincerely apologized to Ms. Johnson for any negative impacts this situation may have had on her. We hope to continue to work with Ms. Johnson's family through her attorneys to resolve this matter without further litigation. And Denver Police Chief Ron Thomas has ordered an internal investigation and is working with the district attorney's office to make sure officers and assistant DAs are better trained when it comes to warrants based on Find My Phone apps. Detective Staab, by the way, is still employed by DPD. He's been with the department since 1998. Ann.
Patrick Perez, thank you. Now, in this case, police did have a warrant to search Ruby Johnson's home. However, warrants are not blanket legal documents for police officers. And looking deeper tonight, if officers show up at your home saying they need to search the premises, you do have a legal right to refuse unless you see a warrant. You are not required to give consent until police have a warrant. And if that warrant does exist, you have the right to request that police read it to you to say what the warrant is for.
A bank robbery suspect who shot at an officer still holed up in a Greenwood Village hotel. This is at the extended stay off I-25 on Arapahoe Road. That hotel's been evacuated. That officer wasn't hurt, and it's unclear if the suspect was injured when that officer returned fire. So crisis negotiators are on scene. They've spent the last 6 hours trying to get this suspect out.
Aurora police are offering a $10,000 reward for any information on the suspects who shot at officers late last night. It happened at the King Soopers off Peoria. Now, police were investigating a stolen Kia when at least one person shot at officers in an unmarked police car. No one has been arrested.
3 students in Henderson were taken into custody today after a handgun was found in a Prairie View High School student's car. Nobody was hurt. Students were safely released this afternoon. Also, Boulder High went into temporary lockout this afternoon. Police received a tip that a student was off campus with a weapon. Boulder police say they located that student. It was a BB gun, and they haven't said whether charges will be filed.
A tour bus driver in Boulder sideswiped at least 32 cars last night near University Hill. Somehow that bus driver didn't realize that they had hit the cars and simply drove away.
I was completely shocked. I was horrified. I couldn't imagine that someone had damaged so many cars, including my own, so badly and just drove off and didn't have any remorse.
Well, thankfully, no one was injured, and police were able to track down the driver, who is now facing multiple hit-and-run charges. And tonight we are talking with more students whose cars were sideswiped, and you can watch that story tonight on Denver 7 News at 10.
Wow. Well, expectations were pretty low for this past holiday shopping weekend, and expectations were exceeded.
Yeah, that's right. Denver 7's Russell Haythorne visited one Denver fulfillment center today where staff has been working nearly round the clock to get holiday orders shipped.
Yeah, this Denver fulfillment center for a number of local brands is doing astronomical volume this Cyber Week. In fact, one local brand, Rosie Rings Scented Candles, has seen their sales double this year over last.
Crews inside this massive warehouse have been working extended shifts, trying to get caught up, fulfilling orders for Rosie Rings and several other locally owned brands this Cyber Week. Managers here say shipping volumes are 30% higher this Cyber Week over last, as online sales are booming this Christmas season.
All you've heard on the business news is impending recession, or we're already in a recession, all the rest of the stuff. So you would think that consumer spending for the holiday season has slowed down. What we're seeing is actually an explosion in volumes.
Here's a brand doing really well this year, Pactimo Cycling Apparel. This is also a local company, and its products are flying off the shelves. In fact, the size and scale of this aisle in this Denver fulfillment center gives you an idea of just how popular online sales are this year.
And their aggressive specials online, so they've been doing 30 and 40% off, and they've been extending these sales. They already have the product in here, right? All it is changing up their marketing strategy, sending out the emails, or buying the extra Facebook ads, and then boom, they get another 20% bump in volume.
Other products doing well here are Icelandic skis, also locally owned, and side dish salad dressings, which are experiencing phenomenal shipping growth. Aggressive specials online for products and services appear to be working, driving consumer spending.
Consumers very strong, at least spending wise for the holiday season. The convenience of online shopping, right? And they like a good deal. Really is really the biggest theme of it all.
Keep in mind, the guaranteed delivery date for ground service is December 15th. Happy shopping. I'm Russell Haythorne, Denver 7.
Daydreaming of the weekend?
A shorter work week could be on the horizon. A massive study hopes to prove that 4-day work weeks are good for employees and employers.
At the end of the day, if companies say, actually, this is a real benefit, a tangible benefit we can offer employees without losing productivity or cost ourselves, why not?
And Buffs fans wait in anticipation. CU sources tell us we could know very soon if Deion Sanders wants that head coach job.